Tasman Series travels north from Sydney up the coast to the Brisbane area for round number 6 of our 1966 Tasman Series here for the Australian Grand Prix. This is the big one. We're at the Lakeside International Raceway, an aptly named circuit here near Brisbane, a classic track indeed, for round number 6. And it should be quite the interesting one, fast and furious. Last time out at Warwick Farm, I was able to start the Australian part of the championship off with a bang and get that win ahead of Jim Clark and the rest of the field. I think owing it to Jim Clark's mechanical failure, so I'm still a little worried about ultimate pace, and there's quite a few quick cars at this race, so I don't think this one will be quite as easy to win. If we take a look at the points thus far, I'm leading the way. Richie Axelson up top, finally overtaking Jim Clark for the lead in the championship with that 9 points last time out. But it's mostly because he didn't finish at all, and because that was the first round of the Australian side of the championship. It can be a drop race, so we'll really get an idea today for what the championship is going to be like. This round highlighted in gold because it has to count for points. So no matter the finish here, this is a race which counts for one of the 3 from the Australian half of the championship, and just 2 races remaining after this, and things are really as close as ever between myself and Jim Clark for this little bit of a pre-season championship. It's really coming down to the wire. Behind us, I'm not certain there's a threat. Spencer Martin, one of the local drivers, is leading the way with 13 points from Jim Palmer racing the other Lotus. But as we look further down, Frank Gardner, Jackie Stewart, Richard Atwood, the BRMs should be fairly quick. They definitely look quick here today, but the points just haven't worked out for them thus far. And with Graham Hill and Richard Atwood switching off in the second BRM, they were never really cut out to go for the championship overall. So looking at the Lakeside International Raceway, this is a circuit that looks quite simple from the map, but it's anything but that while you're driving. There's a ton of elevation change here, and some of it in awkward spots through the corners that make it challenging. But it's a circuit, small track, 1.5 miles, a classic track in Australia. It opened in the 1960s and raced up into the early 2000s. I think it was closed temporarily and may still be open today, but a track that saw motorcycle racing, a ton of touring car racing, and of course some Formula racing, holding this Australian Grand Prix twice in 1966 here and again in 1969. It's built right along the side of Lake Kurwongbah, carved into the hills, and uses the natural terrain to its advantage. So the track itself, like I said, it looks quite basic. You basically have these 2 180-degree corners with the carousel and the eastern loop, but they're very tricky corners. A hungry corner, I think, will be a good passing opportunity, as will the carousel, but as ever, I'm a little down on top speed, and so passing, especially going into the carousel, will be difficult. Eastern loop will be the one I think I need to watch out for during the race. It's a very difficult entry with the track falling away from you through the corner, so pretty easy to run wide through there, and you need to get a good exit to get a run onto the front straightaway. The real Australian Grand Prix this year was a pretty exciting race by all accounts of it. It was won by Graham Hill from Frank Gardner and Jim Clark on the podium, but the results themselves don't really give you the whole story. It sounds like Jackie Stewart and Graham Hill in the 2 BRMs were extremely quick the whole weekend, and from the start of the race pretty much led each other 1 and 2. It says by a string between them, tied between them, so clearly nose to tail. Jim Clark had some mechanical issues and fell back through the pack, and it sounds like there was a scary incident about halfway through the race between Cusack, Palmer, and Gagan getting in an accident together, a 3-car incident. Not such a good thing. Ultimately, Jackie Stewart's car suffered a gearbox failure, and so Graham Hill took the victory away, and Jim Clark was able to struggle along to the finish to pick up that 3rd place. But quite an action-packed race. I think this circuit lends itself well to close racing, being so small, and they actually limited the size of the field that was able to race here, telling several cars that they weren't allowed to race just based off of the amount of space they wanted on the circuit. So take a look at the practice and qualifying results, and just as in real life, Jackie Stewart was extremely quick in qualifying. For once in my championship, it seems like he's going to at least be a quick car during the race, but he's starting on the pole alongside Frank Gardner, both into the 56s, which is quite quick. Looking back then, Graham Hill starting in the 3rd place, so in the other BRM, and then myself, Richie Axelson, in 4th. Pretty good time overall, I believe, sandwiched here between Graham Hill and Jim Clark, so I find myself in good company. Looking back further, Spencer Martin and Leo Gagan, Jim Palmer there. So the field runs down from there. 16 cars, so not a huge grid, but it's such a small track, I would not doubt that we're going to hit some lap traffic during this one. The real race was run over 66 laps of this course, so we'll be doing 20 laps here today. It's all going to be about the start and making sure I get away cleanly. The track gets very narrow into the carousel, but once we get through there, hopefully things will string out a bit and I can plot some moves and work my way to the front. So let's get started with this. We're getting towards the end of the season, so this race has to count. I have to do well here. I at least need to come home with some points and hopefully score better than those 2 points I got at the New Zealand Grand Prix. So 3 races to go in the Tasman Series. Let's get started with this, the 1966 Australian Grand Prix. All right, so here we are on the grid. You can see the track goes through the kink in front and then down into the carousel corner. Flag is up, down, we're underway. All right, getting a good roll off the line. Side by side with Stewart, but he's going to clip me coming into the carousel there. Oh, and I got Graham Hill right behind me on the inside. We'll come down into the carousel, down to second gear, but Hill sneaking up the inside. Oh, and Spencer Martin there falling in behind me. So both BRMs getting away. Hill running a little out wide there. Just thinking maybe he had an issue for a second. Breath of the throttle here will come under the Shell Bridge. Through another kink and then down to the corner I think they call Hungry Corner. Oh, Spencer Martin filling up my mirrors there, running wide though. A Lotus getting around him. We'll come into Eastern, just take it nice and easy up the hill. Try to hit the apex just after that hay bale on the inside. All right, then sweep it down the hill, back down to third gear, keep it nice and tidy, and get that power down for the front stretch. Oh, so completing lap number 1, a hectic lap, it's so quick here. So staying in fourth, but I thought I went ahead. Graham Hill off the line, and I think I probably have Jim Clark behind me now. Coming down to second into T1. Oh, mirrors are full of Lotus. A fight up in front. I think Gardner and Stewart there going at it. Up to fourth gear. Just snaking through some of these corners. Down to second for Hungry. Probably can leave it in third there. Oh, Hill running wide. Get alongside of him. Come up to Eastern. Try not to run it wide. Oh, and he fights back on me. Oh, and I got Jim Clark next to me now. Coming to the final corner. He's got the line there. See if I can maybe get a good exit. Stick on him. Come to the line. Oh, losing the spot there. I thought I had it on Hill. But ultimately falling back behind Jim Clark. Come down to the carousel again. Jim trying to invite me up the inside there. I got Spencer Martin all over me now to worry about. So no room to breathe here. Everybody's under full attack. It's a short track. Oh, gonna miss the apex just there under the Shell Bridge. Try to keep it in third this time through Hungry. Oh, but getting slowed down in front, not able to carry the speed I want. Jim Clark's gonna look up the inside, maybe a hill. Come over the crest there. Oh, and work it down. Final corner, missing my apex a little bit again. Come to the line, check the pit board this time by. So 17 laps to go, P5. Need to pick up at least a couple more spots here. And I got them all right in front of me, luckily. Nobody's really pulling away. Okay, come down to second. A little bit of space on Martin behind me, but not much. Oh, I'm missing the second part of carousel there. Try to get the apex under the Shell Bridge a bit better. So I'm just kind of running wide a little bit here and there, and it's costing me some time. I think I'm pretty quick, but I just need to put the corners together like that. Oh, and they're going side by side in front, Hill and Clark. We've got front row seats to an epic duel here. I want to be part of that duel, though. Got a nice exit there through the last corner. Come across the line to complete another lap. This one's going to click by really quick. The laps are just under a minute around each time. But fast and furious, that seems to be how the Australians like their motor racing. Oh, and it looks like Hill might have overtaken his teammate there. I think Jim Clark's back to third now. Gardner's snaking away in front. So I need to plot a move here. I can try a lunge, but if I got two cars side by side like this, there's not a lot of places to go. Following Clark through around Jackie Stewart. Oh, car oversteering. Able to cut in front of Stewart, though, through Eastern. Oh, getting my wheels on the dirt. Getting a tank slapper there. Oh, saving it, though, just on the outside of the circuit. Looking for Jim Clark. Where is he? Or Jackie Stewart. I can hear him. There he is behind me. I'll take the line through the kink. I have to plot myself here carefully into the carousel. Make him take the outside. Try not to slide wide, though. Oh, okay. So getting around Jackie Stewart. Looks like Spencer Martin behind us is going to do the same. I've fallen back from the lead pack a little bit. Let's see if I can goose it through this corner. Whoa, staring at the wall there on the exit. Come down to third. Through Hungry. Wonder if that one's called Hungry because you just want more speed every time. All right, Jim Clark trying to come, or Jackie Stewart trying to come back up on me behind. Jim Clark working on, I think Frank Gardner in front. Looks like Graham Hill taking up his rightful first position. But come across the line again. Check the pit board next time by. Hopefully a moment of quiet here for a furious opening of the race. Oh, and Jackie's back for a little more behind me. Looks like Jim Clark's looking for any way around Gardner in front. Right on the line there in the exit. Oh, Clark slow through Hungry there. Closing up on him now. But I gotta watch myself. It'd be easy to lose the spot to Stewart as well if I mess up trying to pass. Oh, almost running wide through the final corner. Missing the apex a bit. Look at the pit board this time by. So up to P4, 13 laps to go, so we're almost halfway already. Understeer a bit through the kink. It's all right, the car feels lively enough in the rest of the corners here. Oh, and all quiet behind me. Not sure where Stewart went, but clearly he's fallen off. So maybe some gearbox problems like in real life. All right, come down to Hungry again. Everybody keeping the line correct this time by. Down to second gear, come over Eastern here. This is a good track to find some rhythm at. Once things aren't so crazy in practice, I was clocking off some nice laps, but side by side through nearly every corner there for the first few laps is definitely not comfortable. It's not a very wide circuit. A little bit wider than some of the others from this time, luckily, and I think that allows for some of this racing. Oh, but Jim Clark looking up the inside of Gardner here through the carousel. And he's able to get him up to second for Clark. Gardner's going to look back for another way around Clark. See if I can catch him. Down to second, down to third. Fourth through third there. Then down to second, up into Eastern. A little bit of counter steer. I'm going to let the car run out wide. And just like that, clip the apex late. I think that's Jackie Stewart in front. Everybody gets bottled up for a second. So Stewart definitely had some kind of issue. He's slowly getting back to the pit lane, but right on the back of Gardner now. Up to fifth gear. Come through the kink. All right, just drifted on in. Just have to wait on the throttle through the exit of the carousel. It's easy for the car to slide a little bit, get that rear end loose. And Clark slowly pulling out in front of us, so I need to get past Gardner right away. little bit too early on the apex through Eastern, but absolutely nailing the last corner here. Look at the pit board this time by. All right, halfway, 10 laps to go. At 4 seconds on Martin behind, so it's really about focusing forward at this stage. Maybe need to back up the second half of carousel there a little bit. Get a better acceleration out. This is a pretty curvy part of the track, but you can take it fairly quick there. Oh, Gardner's slowing down. He's definitely holding me up at this point. But where to pass? Come over Eastern again. Try to get this apex a little later. There we go, over the top of the hill there. The track just falls away. Beautiful lake off in the distance. Down the gears. Gardner does leave a little bit open on the inside there. Oh, getting the line wrong, running onto the dirt a bit, trying to get it back on the circuit. Oh, so unforced mistake there. Just try to gather it back together. I didn't lose that much time, but I just gassed it up a little too hard, a little too early in the middle of the carousel, and it just shot the car out wide. You can see how on the edge these things are sometimes. The difference between doing a good corner and flying off the circuit is not that big. So I lost quite a bit of time to Gardner. Ran a little bit wide through the final corner. See if I can pull him back in. Seems like Graham Hill up there is pulling away to the victory unless something happens to his BRM too. All right, down to second gear. There we go, much better this time. It's a really weird entry to the carousel. You have to keep it out right against the edge of the circuit, turning into the right. It's quite uncomfortable. Oh, missing the apex there through the shell. It's one of the places where you could definitely hit a wall if you run just a little bit wide. Just throwing it into Hungary there. Let the camber on the course take off some of the speed. Could definitely enter Eastern there a bit wider. Just critiquing my own lines as I'm trying to find a little more speed to catch up to Gardner here. Definitely not losing any time. It's 7 laps to go. P4, I want that podium. I want that podium and the points that come along with it. Championship's just 2 points apart at this point, so every single point that you can get in the race matters. Down to third gear. Oh, a little bit wide there. Yeah, still just hitting that apex too early. The corner just feels like it goes and goes and goes. But a little bit closer to Gardner this time. Come across the line, see a couple more cars up there, so I wonder if we're gonna hit that lap traffic. Could help me, could hurt me. Back up that shell corner quite nicely there. Coming to Hungary, throw the car sideways, understeering a little bit on the exit. Ooh, catching a bit of oversteer on entry. It's a little scary. I just get such a better acceleration out of there. I'm still getting that apex too early, but that was nice. Coming to the line. So 5 more laps to go, right on the back of Gardner. Don't have to worry behind. Looks like we're coming up on a lapped car. So we got one lap car to dispatch here. Looks like Gardner will get up the inside of him, myself as well, so both getting by, luckily. Ooh, I almost outbraked myself coming into Eastern. And I can see why you wouldn't want a lot of slow cars riding around here, so I don't blame the organizers for shortening the grid. Closer than I've been in a few laps, though, to Gardner. Come down into turn 1. Frank showing excellent composure in front of me, just not missing a beat. Richie here, maybe a little more rough around the edges, but that's what the fans like, right? Come slide it through the shell corner. Through Hungry then, right on the back of him. If I can get a good run through here, through Eastern. Oh, I got the line much better, but he's just able to get a bit more grip mid-corner, it seems. There we go, through the final corner, right on him now. Up to 4th gear, right in the slipstream. Come through the kink, just give it a breath of the throttle. See if I can sneak it up the inside, down to 2nd gear. Oh, he cuts me off. Oh, and he gets caught up behind this slow car for a second. I have to give up the line too a little bit there. All right. But he knows I'm here now. Come down to Hungry. Oh, I thought about maybe trying to get it up the inside there, but tricky to get alongside coming in. You don't brake super hard. Try not to over rev the car. So come through Eastern. He's able to just gain on me a little bit down the hill, but on the front straightaway, I'll pull in again. Ooh, take a look at the pit board. Just 2 laps to go. No lap car to worry about this time by. All the way down the gears, down to 2nd on the inside. Keep it right on the white line like I painted it. There we go, he has to swing around wide. Just dip in the dirt on the exit, but able to get the position on Gardner there, so up to 3rd. Now, focus forward, just try to pull a little bit of a gap. It seems like he might have given up a little bit there now. He's got nothing for Richie today. Down to 2nd gear, come up to Eastern. I can see Jim Clark in front of me there, but I think just 1 lap to go. We'll come to the line. Oh, and Gardner, I don't even know where he is now. He's not in the mirror at all. 1 lap to go, P4, be up to P3 because I passed Gardner. But I don't see him at all behind, so maybe he had mechanical trouble too. I feel like I made that pass on speed alone. Oh, missing the 2nd apex a bit. Just dip it in the dirt for good measure. All right, but just need to get these corners right now. Doesn't seem like I'll be able to catch Clark. Come into Hungry, down to 3rd gear. Understeer on the way through a little bit. All right, 2nd gear into Eastern, nice and easy here. Final lap. Flags are waving. All right, coming through the final corner. There, I can see a checkered flag. So, what a crazy race. I knew that one was going to be non-stop action, but it really was from the start to the finish. I'm pretty happy with 3rd place there. I know Jim Clark beat me, but can't always beat Jim Clark. Barely ever beat him, honestly, and I think that'll do just enough. Should come away with the 3rd place of 4 points in the championship. Not too bad. Better than the 2 points I got for the New Zealand championship, but man, I think the pass on Gardner might be a highlight in the season so far. Just see Spencer Martin coming up behind me. So something happened to Gardner after I passed him. And we'll have to see in the final results what that was. I'll let Martin passed here on the outside. Looks like Jim Palmer behind him. So no sign of Gardner. Jackie Stewart fell out early too, that helped, he was quick. So I think I easily turned a 5th or 6th place finish into a podium just by keeping at it, hounding Gardner. You have to think as well, you know, maybe you can get a car or somebody to drive a car harder than they really should be and cause a mechanical failure by hounding them like that. So we'll come in the pits here behind Gagan and park this one and have a little celebration. So there it is. We'll look at the final results, and Graham Hill able to win the race handily over Jim Clark. 10 seconds pulled out, which is pretty wild on a circuit this small. But Richie Axelson coming home in 3rd place, and I fought for that one. Had to pass a few cars on speed really to get up there. Spencer Martin coming home in 4th. Palmer in 5th, and Gagan coming home in 6th. So if we look towards the bottom, it looks like Gardner actually had a gearbox issue. So maybe I did push him to the point where he broke the car, or it just happened to happen right when I passed him. But I feel like he was still pretty much full speed when I did make the pass. And then Jackie Stewart finishing dead last with an ignition issue. So I guess Gardner got his real world failure, but Jackie Stewart as well, not able to finish the race despite being quick. And taking a look at the points, I keep the lead, but barely ahead of Jim Clark. We basically come out nearly the same as we entered this race, 2 points advantage, so up to 30 points for the lead with Jim Clark just at 28 there. Spencer Martin really establishing himself in 3rd place with 17 points ahead of Jim Palmer now. And Graham Hill, despite missing almost half the season or more so far, he's sitting there in 5th, so not too bad, picking up the points where it counts at the 2 main Grand Prix. So it's a slim margin for the lead of the championship, and we just have 2 races to go. But remember, one of those at least will have to be a drop race for myself. I think Jim Clark will probably drop round 5, but if he doesn't score points in either of the next 2 rounds, that does bode quite well for Richie Axelson. So the Tasman Series heads to Sandown now for round number 7, but Richie may have another obligation in the meantime. So until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you all again next time.